Hi there, it's Matt from Muzoma, and today we're going to be following up on our previous video about the Cymatic LP16 backing track player. And we got some exciting news from Muzoma's point of view, in that we can now export in LP16 format from the sets manager. So when you go into sets and you want to export to the LP16, you can then save off to the new Apple Files app, and then you can import into the LP16 and actually play your set directly from the LP16 with no iPad, no computer, just the memory stick or the hard disk that you've got attached to it. So this is great news if you just want to use your LP16 when you're playing live. Also, you can now import into Cymatic's uTool application, which allows you to then either mix standalone on the PC or the Mac, and you can also play back to the LP16 from Util, and you can see the mixer, and you can also edit the set and change the order, etc, etc. So let's take a look at all these methods. What we've got here is 5 songs on the home page, which we've also combined into a set. So if I go into sets, we've got this new set here, and this is our demo set, which we'll also put on the website, so you can download this and test it yourself. And then in the set view, we've got our new functionality. So in the sharing button, there's share set, which was already there, which was the default before, but now we've also got export as LP16. So that's cool. If we go ahead and we press that, now what happens is you get a confirmation box, and it asks you if you want to include the guide audio or no guide. So we'll say no guide because we don't need that actually on the LP16. And what happens is in the background, Muzoma goes away and it processes all the files in the set, converts them into WAV files, which is what the format of the LP16 requires, and it also writes out all the extra files that are required for the uTool application. So that's going to take a little while, and we will wait for that to happen. Okay, great, so export complete. Now you can actually use the app while the export is taking place, as long as you obviously don't modify the songs or the sets that are involved in the export. So it can take 5 or 10 minutes depending how long the set is and how much work it has to do, but you can use the app while that's happening. Okay, so if we hit OK, we can then go and check out what happens in the Files app. Let's check out what happens in the Files app. So we open the files, and we are looking at on my iPad, and you can see in this case the top entry is Muzoma, so open that, and we've got the folders for our songs, and we've also got this new folder called Cymatic. And you can see in there we've also got recording, and if we drill down, we've got this. If you've ever looked at the Cymatic format, you can see that we've got the export in the format that we'd expect, with the playlists and with each of the songs in the right order and associated WAV files, plus that song dot, I think it's set, is used by the uTool application to determine the channel levels and the pans. So Muzoma actually exports intelligently to tell the uTool application what the correct channel is, and also what the pan is for each of the tracks. So we can take a look now and see how we can get from the Files app into the LP16. Okay, great. So now the challenge is to get these files onto a disk or memory stick. So what we can do from files is go back, and you're going to want to get the whole of that recording folder. So that's all the contents, and if you hold that down, you get a context menu and you can do things like move, copy or duplicate. So what we're going to do in this case is copy the actual recording folder, so hit copy, and then you have to decide where you're going to go. So commonly you could go to iCloud Drive and you could then copy all of the recording to your iCloud, and then on your Mac or PC, if you've got iCloud installed, which is easy to download from for the PC anyway from Apple, you just install it and then you get the iCloud Drive as a new folder, or obviously if you've got a Mac it's all built in. So that's one option. And then for another option is if you've got NAS storage, which is Western Digital, then you can use MyCloud. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the MyCloud app, and that way I can store this transfer locally without going across the internet. So let's do that. Okay, great. So I'm going to give you a quick tour of the hardware here. So we've got our MyCloud WD drive here. I've labelled it up iTunes. It's quite a compact little thing, and it just connects in to the local area network. It's also got a cable there for attaching a USB drive if you wish. And then that just goes into my Netgear switch over here. Now you might have seen my previous video on connecting the iPad up to the local area network. So I've also got this little Linksys device which connects to the camera connection kit via this pluggable hub, and that allows the iPad to connect to the same network as the WD drive. So that allows us to then get reasonably quick transfers of files and data using the Files app locally with MyCloud. So let's click on MyCloud, and if we go into there we can see we're on WD MyCloud. If we open that folder or that share, it shows all the shares that are available. I've pre-made this one called Cymatic, which is empty. So I could copy straight to the iTunes WD drive, or I've also attached this Turo hard disk, and that will be the one that I'm going to use to connect to the LP16 ultimately. So I also have, because it's connected, a share in here that I can access here. So then if I go into there and then I long press and I press paste, you can see I'm now copying the recording. So that takes a little while to complete. You can see if we go into the folder how it's copying, and you can see these cloud icons which mean that the file's not there yet, and as it goes through it shows you the status. There are apparently some direct USB sticks that support the Files app. I've not actually got one or tried one, but I think if you could plug in a USB directly into the lightning ports, that may be a lot quicker than actually going across the network. So yeah, if anyone's tried that, do let me know. Okay, great. Now we can remove the USB drive. We should probably do it through the application. So if we just eject the drive, and then we can pull the plug. Cool. So now we take that and we plug it straight in to the LP16. Okay, cool. So now we've got our disc connected to the LP16. I turn it on, you can see the disc lights up. It's connected here via USB and it starts up. So we're in multi-track mode, multi-track disc test. Now this LP16 is connected to a stage box via these analog connectors. So it goes straight out onto the stage box in analog, and then the stage box connects to to the mixer, note that this mixer is not connected via USB, it's connected to the stage box and the analog outs of the LP16. Okay, and then each channel of the 16 is assigned to these faders here, and I've labelled them with the actual track names as well, so we can see what goes on. Okay, cool. So back to the LP16, and if we look at what we've loaded, so we've got song 1 of 5, and it's Funky, Muzoma, 2, Impossible Dream, 3, Starlight, etc. Now this is in just straight multi-track playback mode, and so it preloads the song and it's ready to play. Now also, if we go to the menu, we can also select playlists. So if I press select, you can see we've got funky play. So if I select that, now we're in playlist mode, and you can see we've got the same order of songs here. We can go down 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, cool. So let's hear what it sounds like. So if I hit play, go across to the mixer, you can see we're getting our sounds. And it's streaming straight off of the disc. And you can see the display there. And hit stop. And we're in pause mode. And we can go to the next track. Go a few further. And this one's playing. We've got each track. That's the kick drum. We've got solo, rhythm section, bass. And we come to the end of that track. And then what it does is it's set to wait, and it waits on the next track until I hit play or connect via the foot switch. So come back out here and in solo mode, so let's clear the solo. Cool. And so now what we're going to do is remove the hard disk from the LP16, and we're going to try out with the uTool application. So let's move the disk over to the Mac and plug it in. Okay, so you can see we've got no name here, and that is our hard disk. So you can see we've got recording, and these are our files. Okay, so now if we go into the Launchpad and we go to the uTool application, we can then start to import our media. Okay, so what we do is maximize the application and select the disk that we want to use. So let's have a look, and there he is, no name. And straight away it's picked up what we've got on there. So we've got under recording, we've got all of this stuff, the playlist and the actual files for the songs, and it's worked out, if we click here, it's worked out that they're multi-track and the LP16 and how all the details here. So okay, let's click import. And it goes away and it imports the files, and it's pretty quick, and we click OK. Now we're still on this import tab, so if we go back to home and we find our device, the LP16, we've got the date here, and we've got all our songs. So that's pretty cool. And we've also got our playlist, and it's in the correct order for the songs. So the nice thing about this application is we're not connected to the LP16 yet. So if I basically tap with two fingers or right click in Windows context, we've got the option for a mixer here. So if I press mixer, and you can see that the layout is the same as we've got on the actual physical desk. So channel 1 is the kick, then we've got channel 2 is the snare, and then we've got our desk overhead drums here. And you can see that the layout is correct, we've got the right pan. And if we go on to the next, so we've got some missing channels here because there's nothing on them. The click, the bass, and then if we go on to the 9 to 16, we've got a guitar and one keyboard. So down here you can see we've got the option for stereo, playback, multi-track, pre and post fader. So if I just do stereo, this is the sound is going to come out of the laptop, out of the MacBook. So if I press play, there we go, that's cool. And I can adjust the mix. I can mute, solo. Great, so now what we'll do is plug in the USB for the LP16. But this time we're going into the back rather than into the front. So this will then become a device sound card for the Mac. So what we need to do, if we go into the settings, so we'll come out of the mixer and go to settings, and then we want to make sure that we're on the, instead of the built-in output, we want to be on the LP16. We've got the right sample rate and everything, so go back to home and double click or two finger click mixer, and this time we go for multi-track playback post fader. So that means that the faders take account of the level. So hit play, and now you can see that the sound is coming from the mixer via the LP16. So if we play again, put the camera onto the LP16, let's push that around and hit play again, you can see. Interestingly, Util also works on the PC, so we can do exactly the same thing using the PC. Let's take a look at that. Okay, so here we are with the PC, and this works in exactly the same way. So you got an identical user interface, and we can import the contents of the hard disk. We can just select the USB, and if we go there, you can see we've got exactly the same thing. We can select everything, and we can just go import. Takes a little bit longer because this is an old slow PC. It's a little bit slow. Okay, same UI dialog, and we can then go to the home, and we've got the same deal, and let's right click this time and we press mixer, and it's exactly the same. So if we then select stereo playback, which is already there, hit the play, and this time it's coming out of the laptop speakers. And say yep, and then let's try it finally with the laptop connected to the LP16. So if I drop the USB disc, and this time if I connect in the LP16, I can find it. There we go. And then if I go to settings, and I check, this time I need the, instead of Windows Audio, I need ASIO. I need to check the LP16. And there we go, okay. If I go back to the home, right click, go to the mixer, and if I go into the stereo playback, multi-track, post fader, and there you go. Well, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it and enjoy using the LP16 with Muzoma.